Hello everyone and welcome back to Couple Books. This is Couple. As per usual, today we are going to be doing 2 urban fantasy book reviews. I'm super excited to do these reviews. I talked about these books before. You guys told me to pick these books up and I'm excited to have read them, and I'm now excited to share with you guys my thoughts. Today we're going to be doing 2 spoiler-free reviews, but a little more in depth than usual for both these books, since we are being introduced to 2 different completely amazing magical worlds, and I'm excited to share with you guys today, and hopefully you guys like them and will pick them up. So with that being said, let us get started in today's video with our first review. The first review we're going to be talking about today, guys, is going to be Fated by Benedict Jacka. This is the first book in the Alex Verse series. Alex Verse series is basically a Dresden look-alike, but not really. It is a fantasy world that is taking place in urban, normal day London. In this normal everyday London, there is the magical underworld, as we typically see in urban fantasy, and we have a slew of politics, we've got a slew of magical creatures, and we've got a slew of amazing plot points going on in this book. But let's get started with what is the premise of this story. So we have Alex Verse. Alex Verse is our main character. He's our main mage in this story. Alex Verse is someone who's able to foresee the future. He's got this special ability, and in this world there's different types of mages, such as Alex, who's able to see the future. There's other mages that maybe will focus on different kinds of powers, and you're born this way. You don't really get a choice in the matter. You're either born a fire mage and you can shoot fire. You are born a time mage and you can do some Doctor Strange stuff. You are born a frost mage and you can do some frost magic, you know? So moral of the story is there's a lot of different mages out there. There's a lot of different specific powers out there. Alex is one of the few people in London who is actually able to see the future. It makes him a hot commodity in the mage world. But mages are not the only thing that make up the magical community in London and in the world in this series. We also have people who are adepts. They can do parlor tricks. They're maybe not full-fledged mages, but they can do a few things, and they've got some tricks up their sleeves, metaphorically. See, there's nothing up my sleeves. I can't do magic. But then as well, we also have sensitives, which are the people who are they can sense your aura. You know, they've got crystals, they can see your aura and stuff, but they're not actually they're not really anyone who can do anything magical, but they have that sensitivity thing. They can sense the radar. Basically what I am. Honestly, my wizardar is off the charts. I can find wizards like that, and that is why I'm waiting my Hogwarts letter and it has not arrived yet. But anyways, that's not important. That's not the point of today's video. So we've got Alex, we've got a whole bunch of mages, we got a whole bunch of different classes in this world, but then there's also the main powerhouse in this world. And in the magical world, there is basically 2 main sides in this epic quest for power that's constantly going on behind the scenes, and that is the dark mages versus the light mages. Dark mages in this world are basically mages who are not necessarily evil, but the ends justify the means. They will do some nasty crap to get what they want, to get more power. In their philosophy, power is everything. Power means everything. So if you're not powerful enough to defend yourself against a dark mage, that's not the dark mage's fault if they attacked you and won. That's on you, because you were not powerful enough to defend yourself, if that makes sense. Literally, to the highest level, the ends justify the means in every pretty much way possible. And power is everything for these people. So they will kill, murder, torture to get more power. And they, based off their philosophy, do not see this as doing anything wrong or bad because they're more powerful, so therefore they have a right to it, if that makes sense. Then you've got the other side, which is the light mages. You know, your goody goods, your Gandalfs, but not really. These are mages that basically don't believe in the ends justify the means. There are consequences to your choices, there are consequences to your actions, and they tend to practice a little bit more of what we would standardly see as our wizard character. Our Gandalfs, our Dumbledores, they're more on that kind of side of things, but they themselves are also not what you would probably say the good guys. They're more gray characters as well. They are power hungry as well. They're politically corrupted, and they really will do also anything for power, but they do it a little more discreetly than the dark mages like me. I know I'm switching back and forth. Sensitive, dark mage, I don't really know what I am today. We're trying out a lot of different titles. But Alex Verse in this world is what you'd probably kind of consider a light mage. He's not really an ends justify the means guy, but he's also not really aligned with the light wizards either. he's not really part of this council of light wizards who basically oversee the magical community. He's kind of distances himself from them. He doesn't really agree with all their decisions, hence, like, because of the political corruptness, and he's kind of gone on his own, and he's kind of like a freelance mage, if that makes sense. Let us enter into the actual story. Alex is running a magical shop called the Arcana Emporium. This is like his day job. This is what he does. He sells herbs, spices, like crystal balls, like the things that don't really work. And then he also sells like real magical items for the clients that are like actual mages and people who are actually in the community. So he runs a shop, and he has a not really apprentice, but kind of like a friend who is aware of the magical world, and that is Luna. Luna is not a mage herself. Luna is someone who's got chance magic, meaning that she has a spell on her that basically gives her all the best luck in the world, but it projects her bad luck onto other people that are around her. If you get too close to her, you'll get more of it. Like crazy crap. Like here, like something like this.
You opened it? Are you guys cops? Huh? Are you guys cops? What was in the box? Oh, was that it? Huh? It was, wasn't it? What is that thing? Sorry.
But she is kind of learning more about the magical world through Alex, and she helps him out in the shop. She goes around collecting magical things, and that is where we start off our story. Luna goes off and basically finds this red cube from this random shelf, and we don't really know what the deal is with this red cube, but she knows it's got magic, and she knows that Alex is going to want to see it. She brings it to Alex. Alex also doesn't know what it is, but Alex also knows that it's something super powerful, and we don't really know what its purpose is or how much power it has, but it's like probably not good news. Out of the blue, once he's given this object, he's attacked by a dark mage who is looking for this said object and for the person who took it. And that's kind of where we hit off the ground running. This red cube is kind of the center of the mystery. As well, there's this magical, super powerful artifact that's been brought to the British Museum. And between both of these struggles, he basically has to choose between assisting the light wizards in their quest to obtain this magical item that is being held at the British Museum, or the dark wizards, dark mages that are also trying to obtain the magical item. And he's going to kind of get thrown into the middle of it, and it's not going to be good news for Alex. But I love this series. The characters were so much fun. The world was really fun. I really vibe with it. The urban setting is fantastic. Alex is a fantastic protagonist. Luna is an amazing secondary character. I really enjoyed them so much. They were really fun to read. I really enjoyed the magic being employed. I like the limitations placed on the mages in this world. Overall, really super enjoyed it. I had some issues with the plot itself, although the world building that Jacka did is fantastic, and I'm super excited to continue it with this series and to see more of this world and to continue my journey with Alex and Luna. I really loved it. Like, I loved the world so much. It's just the plot was a little bit of an issue. I didn't love the ending. I didn't really love the middle part either, but I love the world so much that I'm willing to continue with it, and that is why I'm pretty comfortable with like a 4 out of 5 stars for this book. Like, I loved it. I really did enjoy it. I just didn't like, I wasn't like, loved it. It was just like, oh, it was like good. I loved it. You know, that kind of, yeah. The next book that you guys wanted me to read, which is the first book in the October Day or Toby Day series by Shauna McGuire. The first one is named Rosemary and Rue. This is another urban fantasy, but instead of following a mage in this one, we are going to be following a changeling whose name is October, hence October Day series, or also by her nickname Toby. October is a changeling. What does that mean? It means a fae mama and a mortal daddy loved each other very much, and then they had Toby, or October. October is therefore a changeling, half fae, half mortal, and she kind of grows up in between the middle of both worlds, but she ends up deciding to kind of side more with the mortal side of her lineage, and she kind of joins a mortal world and leaves the fae one behind. She gets her PI's license, she becomes a private investigator, and she basically goes around and solves fae and mortal crimes alike, and she uses her special ability she's gained by being a changeling to help assist in solving those crimes. She, by her liege lord, who is a pure-blooded fae, so like super powerful, and he's like super high up in hierarchy in terms of like the fae hierarchy, her liege lord has basically asked her to go on this task, and this task basically involves hunting down the person who kidnapped his wife and daughter, and she ends up getting in a little bit of a pickle. And that's where we hit off the story. And basically fast forward 14 years. Now we are with present day October. And October is basically completely done with the Fae world at this point. She's tired of it. She's sacrificed enough for it. She's really just done with the whole Fae existence. And she's kind of like, I'm done doing investigations for you guys. I'm done with everything. Right? Fine. Beset her. But what happens is one of her friends, who's a pure-blooded Fae named Evelyn, or Evening, depending on whether she's going by her human pseudonym. She is graphically and horribly murdered pretty much off the bat, and she leaves a phone call to our main character October, and she basically places a binding curse on her that forces her to figure out who the murderer is and who killed her dear friend Evelyn. So now October kind of has to come out of her PI retirement, her like anti-Fae like stance, and she has to basically re-emerge into the Fae world and figure out who killed her darling friend and figure out who the culprit was before the curse fully takes effect and actually kills October. So it's a pretty fast-paced book. I really enjoyed the world that was going on in here. There's like a lot of Fae politics. There's a lot of other like mystical creatures out there. I really enjoyed the idea of it. I really enjoyed the world building that took place in here. October herself is like a fantastic character. Like, she was fun to watch. She wasn't so funny, but like just, she was entertaining. She was serious. She had a great perspective that you could really vibe with and you can really like get along with her. I really enjoyed her tone telling her story. In addition to that, I really enjoyed the world building. This takes place in the west coast of America, and I really enjoyed the terrain that we saw. I really enjoyed some of the legends that were spoken alive again through this book. Overall, fantastic. Like, the world building was also gorgeous. My one gripe with the previous book, and not so much a gripe with this book, is the story. This is pretty much, in essence, a murder mystery, and it is a murder mystery. Like, it is a murder mystery. Just like throw in some magical Fae elements, and throw in some politics, and throw in some resentment, and boom, you got the first book in this series. October is no joke, and she's gonna find out who did this, no doubt about it. And I loved watching her solve this crime. I loved the middle. I loved the ending. I loved the climax. I loved the clues that were dropped. It was truly a murder mystery, and you guys know I've got a soft spot for those, so adding it with the urban fantasy theme, genre just made me giggle. I loved it so much. It made me shoo. So good. And that is why I'm going to be giving it 5 stars. Like, a fantastic start to a series. I don't think Sean McGuire could have impressed me more. The writing was off the charts. Plotting off the charts, characters amazing. There's really, I don't think I had a single moment of boredom reading this. I would highly recommend it to anyone who's into urban fantasy. In fact, I would highly recommend reading both books if you guys are into urban fantasy. I really don't think you guys can go wrong. Just be prepared. This one's ending is a little bit not as great as this one. Overall, they're both amazing worlds, both amazing characters, both amazing world building potential for future books in the series. Just the plotting was not as strong in this one as it was in this one. That also might be because I'm biased towards murder mysteries, which this is definitely a murder mystery. So, loved it, breathe it, live it. These are 2 great fantasy series that I'm so excited to continue reading. But I think that's actually all for today's video. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you guys enjoyed today's reviews. Let me guys know in the comment section down below if you guys are going to be picking up either one of these. And I look forward to seeing your guys' thoughts. With that, I think that's everything for today. So be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll be seeing you guys in the next video. We have a wrap-up still for the last month coming up. We have a lit RPG book review by Aaron Holloway, which I'm super excited to give to you guys. We got a few tags to do, and then as well we have the buddy read coming up later this month. So be sure to like, comment, subscribe if I didn't already say that. Also, be sure to hit up me on Instagram. I made a Bookstagram account for sharing updates with you guys, what I'm reading, what I liked, what I don't like. Updates on what videos will be coming out, that kind of stuff. So be sure to go and follow us, and I look forward to seeing you guys in the next video. With that, toodaloo, see you guys later. Bye now.